younger, my dad would drive me to school, and every day we would drive by this white 65 Mustang. From there on out, I wanted an old car. I was like in middle school, you know? And when I walk outside and see that I've worked hard enough to be able to afford something that I've always wanted is kind of one of those things that really keeps you going. My dad is from mainland China, and my mom is this tall, blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl from Burbank. They would go to trade shows and like show their stuff off, sell their stuff to people, make their connections. Like that was a perfect job for my mom, if I'm being honest. She loves to talk. She's very business savvy, and she like was the one who made all the connections, and maybe I kind of learned that a bit from her, that all those things are so important to like your business. Like you're having your community and like having your friends you can reach out to and rely on. That was all instilled in me when I was young, just watching my parents work, watching my mom work. I'm very, very proud to be from Los Angeles. There's so many different lifestyles going on in LA, and it was always a little bit different. I just wanted to do my own thing. In early high school is when I started going to a lot of concerts, punk shows and hardcore shows. Like every weekend I'd go to a show at the Knitting Factory in Hollywood. I just started shooting bands playing and just thought it was really neat, so I kind of kept doing it, and then I started taking photo classes, and I had a good photo teacher, and that's how I got into shooting film. You could make a million excuses now that you're older to just not try something or not do something new, because no one's gonna make you do it. I was like, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. But it's like, if you don't try, you don't know. Motorcycles changed my life. It's such a big part of my life now that didn't exist over 8 years ago. A lot of my friends I have now come from riding motorcycles, and a lot of them are girls. And I think that somehow opened up my eyes to this is a big thing, like women riding motorcycles and doing this, like it's gonna be important. To take photography and marry it with something like motorcycles or cars or whatever is kind of like a dream come true for me, as cheesy as it may sound, but it's crazy to think that that could have just never happened. I was in Europe with these 3 other girls, and my partner Lana is also a photographer, and she was photographing this whole new wave of women motorcycle riders, and that's basically how I met her. She wanted to do some type of car show, and she approached me about it, and at the time I had just kind of been interested in vintage cars. I didn't have a car, and I wasn't super involved in the scene, but I also came from a motorcycle background. You know, you go to a motorcycle show, and a lot of those guys have cool cars or cool trucks, so that's not part of the show. And then you go to like a car show, and maybe a couple of those guys have old motorcycles or whatever, not part of the show. So we kind of just wanted to bring all the parts of these things that we liked together, all in the same place, and that was aimed at people our age that were into the things that we were into. to. It is a very big reflection of me. I think Reunion even more so. If I want to do something, I'll at least give it a shot. And I had been kind of looking at Falcons and Rancheros on and off on Craigslist. I was just kind of saving up, and this car was a good choice for me because Falcons share parts with Mustangs, with Mercury Comets, so it's easy to find them and they're not astronomically expensive because they're not rare. Definitely needed some work. A lot of things have been Mickey Moused on it, but part of wanting the car, I always wanted to be able to work on it and like learn about it, and for it to be somewhat of a hands-on thing for me is a really cool, fun experience. Whether it's like just going on cool trips or going on a trip to shoot a campaign, like if I wouldn't have been persistent and just kind of pushed myself, I wouldn't have had all these amazing opportunities that I've had. And I feel like those are the times, like taking those big risks that could be really scary are so important and have such a payoff, whether it's monetary or just really the fun factor. And it's definitely not wasted on me, and I do really appreciate it.